New study has came out saying that approximately 40% of Gen Z is identifying with the LGTV community. Now, this is via Peter Valk, but he gave me the actual data on this. And 28% of millennial Christians, which who knows what that means, Christians, also identified as a part of the LGTV community. So disciple the queer generation, which this is kind of getting into like side B revoice stuff. Let's look at the carousel. What should parents do? So this is his advice. A recent study by George Barna and Arizona Christian University found 28% of millennial Christians and 39% of all U.S. Gen Z identify as LGBTQ. Here is the queer generation. Now, the issue about that word is that a word queer can kind of mean whatever you want it to mean.
Yeah.
So when people are identifying LGBTQ, I think because this will be offensive to folks who are sympathetic to this, because it's a social contagion, that word queer just means anything.
Yeah, it's like I'm a married man and I'm in a committed relationship and I identify as non-binary. It's like,
so check it out. In the LGBTQ community, queer is often used as an umbrella term for anyone who doesn't identify solely as heterosexual or cisgendered. Solely. So if you kind of float back and forth.
I'm non-binary, but in a committed heterosexual long-term relationship.
You would be queer. So again, how much of this is just like identify?
I don't actually, by the way.
Yeah, somebody will clip that.
Yeah. Okay, clip. Dang.
So here's the actual source of this, which is a study from the Arizona Millennials in America, and we go all the way down to this page, and it says 39% of 18 to 24-year-olds identify as LGBTQ. Okay, so they have a very positive view of Jesus Christ, apparently. Views of religious concepts, 39% have a very positive view of Jesus, 29% have a positive view of the Bible, 26% have a positive view of Christianity, 8% for atheism. So these are people that have a positive view, but yet are identifying with this entire, I would say it's a counterfeit worldview. With regards to this. So 39%, that's crazy high. All right, that's crazy high. So go back to the slide and let's see what his recommendations are. Because this is the world that he lives in.
Cool.
Okay. If you're a parent, you might be tempted to retreat further from mainstream culture, hoping to boost the chances that your kids will identify as straight and cisgendered. But what if Christians instead disciple the queer generation? How you feel about this, Zach?
It's not for me. It's not for me, dog.
I would say if I'm a parent, and I am, my son is 10, we're not allowing him near this social contagion.
Exactly.
It's Forrest Frank.
Yeah.
It's Hovey.
Exactly.
It's Indie Tribe. It's House of David.
Yeah.
It's church on Sunday. It's leadership groups. Like, we are not allowing you to be around people who are the mainstream culture.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm going to, and again, my son is Gen Alpha, but I'm going to curate. We're not doing public school.
Yeah.
We're not going to do LGTV civic studies and LGTV history.
Yeah.
We're not doing any of this. Right? So, respectfully, I disagree with.
So I like the idea that Christians, but it's conflated. I think it's because he led with parents. It's conflated. I think if you're a parent of young children, your main ministry is your kids.
To keep them from being polluted by the world. True religion is to care for the widow and the orphan and to not be polluted by the world. People don't like that second part of the verse. Not be polluted by the world.
Come on, son.
We like that first verse. Care for the widow, care for the orphan. Yes and amen to that.
Yeah.
The second part of that verse, James chapter 1. Don't be polluted by the world.
Yeah, don't take your daughter to go do strip club ministry.
We're not doing drag queen hour at the local library.
Yeah. I want my kids to find out about homosexuality the same way I did.
How'd you find out?
I was 10 years old. It was 2008. Do you remember what happened?
The recession?
No.
What happened?
It was around 2008. Marriage was legalized. And I was like, why are there dudes kissing on the screen? And they still blurted it out back then.
Did they?
Uh-huh.
That's interesting.
But I was like, oh, like I was at the age where a man and a woman kissing was still gross. Imagine when I found out that dudes kiss. I was like, what is this? And my parents were like, oh yeah, there's like a subset of people with mental illness. You know,
They hit you with the mental illness.
Oh yeah.
Here's that verse, by the way. Those of you guys that wondered.
It was definitely the Gen Xer explanation of
I love that.
homosexuality.
James 1:27. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this. So like after orphans and widows in their distress, which, yes and amen, almost all the social justice, progressive Christians love that part, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. Now let's see our handy word for the world in the original Greek. The world, the cosmos, adorning, orderly arrangement, order of the world, right? And so to not be contaminated by what's happening in the world, the created world, the universe, all created things. It's interesting that when you look at these translations, that this is a pretty broad word, right? For world,
Yeah.
you know? All right, go back to his Instagram post. We got to wrap it up. Okay, so what is his advice? Keep going. What if you can calmly and confidently respond? So your queer, all right, God's not surprised, and his wisdom is still clear and very good for you. Instead of resisting queer identification, Christian parents can guide it. Because he's a celibate, same-sex attracted Christian. Yeah, God's wisdom for the stewardship of their sexuality is the same true and good. We all experience the most beauty and goodness when we follow his wisdom.
Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, his angle, even though he's probably more side B adjacent or directly there, is so side B in a hashtag.
Vocational singleness.
Yeah, vocational singleness. And so he's pledged to be single.
Come on.
Indefinitely. And I think that's awesome. I think this number is alarming, and I don't think this does not make me want to let my kid be more immersed in culture. This makes me want to curate his experience even more and have those conversations preemptively with him so that he understands. And so we don't talk about this yet.
90s Eminem is all my kids getting.
No.
When he's still saying that.
We talk about what is the proper order. So
Yeah.
a lot of what we're having to detangle with Levi, not detangle,
That's great.
is to point to the areas where people don't have their father in the home, where people aren't together, where people have multiple kids by multiple women.
Yeah.
Where he's exposed to that. And so he sees a clear distinction between the order of God in terms of mom and dad in the home love each other versus these other family models.
Arrangements.
Yeah. And so it's like we're trying to drive home what God's design is
Yeah.
over and over instead of saying, oh, those people over there, they're bad and evil.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
but,
great.
but we'll get there. We'll get that those acts are not within God's design, and those desires need to be submitted to the Lord, and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting conversation. But I will say that just being in a local church context, I do meet more people that especially the bi thing. Like there's a lot of people that be like, yeah, like I struggle with same-sex attraction, but I'm bi. And that is prevalent within
Really?
Gen Z. Yeah.
You've met that? Wow.
Yeah. Not met them. Like I know them. Like it's very common. And it's not the way, like I remember when I was younger, it was a lot of high school girls. Like when I was in high school, like that felt like the social contagion.
High school. If they made a rule where high school girls cannot participate in a poll for LGBTQ plus identity, the numbers would drop.
Well, I'm telling you, I've met a lot of dudes that are like, yeah, like I deal with it in this sense. Like I deal with it as I'm bi,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know what that is, but I think you're right in that the queer thing is probably a lot of women just flippantly identifying with that label.
It's the water.
Or the non-binary, that sort of stuff.
It's the water.
You think it's the water? It's in the water. They're making the frogs.
All I'm saying is,
all right,
have we
Alex
tried
Jones.
not drinking water?
Have we tried not to drink water? Bisexual people in my generation are very common. I'm Gen Z. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Andreas, yeah. It's very common.
Really?
It's very common, bro.
Pick a side.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying even people who get married and submit their sexuality will still say, I would say disordered desires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, that is spooky. And yeah. And a lot of people will say like, well, I'm heterosexual. I don't go out having sex with a bunch of women because I'm married.
Right.
But I would say I could see how some mind games would be played with you if you were bi and you had to like I get why you have to submit it because you're like, goodness gracious, like I'm married to this woman, but I feel if my deepest flesh
Yeah.
disordered desires go both ways, and that can be play some mind games and be weird.
There's a lot of people saying like their sisters, the little sisters, a lot of non-binary, a lot of that sort of stuff. Like it's a prefer. Yeah. So I mean, listen, if you're a parent, like no smartphones, keep them kids off the internet, keep them off social media. I'd say until they're 18. Honestly,
I agree.
Keep them kids off social media. And
I want my kids to find out about social media how I found out about homosexuality. You can talk to people on the other side of the world at 18.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.